A while ago, we did a TikTok about beginner mistakes, things that beginners should not do or that they should avoid when learning to skateboard. Obviously, there's a lot of things that you're naturally gonna not know that you shouldn't do because skateboarding is brand new to you, just like tying your shoes was once brand new to you, and you had to learn not to tie them on the bottom of your shoe, but instead in a bow. We made that TikTok, and that TikTok performed insanely well. It got about around 2 million views. It might have more now, I haven't checked, but there were 3 things in there that I think are common mistakes, and I think we might even make an entire series out of this because there's a lot of beginner mistakes that you should try to avoid, and if you get a head start on them, it's only gonna help your progression exponentially. So the first thing is pushing mongo. Now, pushing mongo has a stigma attached to it, and yes, little kids like to make fun of other little kids about this, but that aside, like that isn't what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about why pushing mongo is less efficient than pushing with your back foot, guiding with your front. So first, let's break down what mongo is. Mongo is when you push with your front foot, guiding with your back. So you have your back foot over the back truck and you're pushing with your front foot off to the side. And you might even notice when you see someone do this that they look a little bit uncontrolled, unbalanced. And they are. There's a reason for that, because you don't have any guidance going on the front of the board, which is where all of the control is. So you want to lead with the front and you want to guide with the front and have the back follow, not the other way around, because you don't want your front getting all squirrely. And that's what tends to happen when you push mongo. It's also an issue too, because when you swing your front foot back up around onto the board, you risk kicking your board and tripping over yourself while you're skating, which you don't want that either. You also can't go as fast simply because you have less control. You need that stability, balance, and control in order to get as much speed as possible for whatever you're trying or whatever amount of speed that you need for said trick. So in conclusion with mongo, you want to push regularly. Not regularly as in regular versus goofy, but regularly, meaning have your front foot over your front bolts or just under your front bolts and push with your back foot. Much easier, much more efficient, much more controlled, balanced, and stable. So moving on, another mistake that I see a lot of beginners make, I myself made this. Also, I'd like to note that I used to push mongo also until I got made fun of enough that I didn't. Another thing that I see a lot of beginners do that they shouldn't do is they'll stop with tail scraping their boards. So they'll lift up on their front truck and place their tail down on the ground and use their tail to slow themselves down. This might be fun to do, and it does work. Like, there's no issue with it in terms of it not working, but it's very bad for your board because it creates razor tail. What is razor tail? Razor tail is when you shave down the edge of your tail, and it's kind of like sharpening a pencil, and it files down the edge and it creates a point, almost like a knife or a spear or an arrow at the end of your board. And this completely sucks when it hits your shins, because it will. You will hit your shins skateboarding. That is inevitable. Just as much as it's going to rain sometime in the next year, you're gonna hit your shins. And the final mistake for this video that I see a lot of beginners make is avoid stepping in dirt or water when you are skating, because your grip tape absorbs that water or dirt and it becomes less grippy. You wanna try to preserve your grip tape as best as possible because it is a pain in the ass to re-grip a board. That adhesive on the bottom of the grip is terrible to get off if you don't have like some kind of heat gun or a hair dryer. And I don't think your mom is gonna be stoked on you using her hair dryer. If you've ever seen, and I still do this to this day, if you've ever seen like skaters at skate parks, but me and all my friends, we used to like constantly look at the bottom of our shoes, and I would wipe the bottom of my shoes with my hand. I know that's insanely gross, but that's what I would do just to make sure that it wasn't wet, because I didn't want to get my grip tape wet. You really want to avoid stepping in dirt, stepping in water. Don't step in dog shit. Dog shit bad. We like friction. When it comes to grip tape, not grinding. Don't show up to the school dance scraping your tail, pushing mongo, or with dirty grip tape.